A very good morning. EURUSD sold off in towards the downside yesterday, extremely hard throughout the end of the overall London / into the New York session. So some beautiful price action for us over there, finally playing through or coming through on our overall bias. So if we look here at the daily time frame on EURUSD, we can see a clear rejection of the overall supply zone that we had over here with a beautiful push in towards the downside. Now for the rest of this week / today, I'm looking for an overall follow through into the further short positions. At the moment, we are retesting the overall 4-hour order flow here, where we've had a double 4-hour fractal break in towards the downside. We can now see that the overall order flow has started to form here with a buy before sell down. We retest that and then we drop back down again. And now once again, this here is the buy before the sell that is currently in control, and from within this overall buy before the sell, I'm looking for a further downside push back down towards this low first of all, and then eventually based on the higher time frame, I'm looking for these two overall lows to get hit as well. Now I might be wrong, but so far the dollar index bias together with EURUSD has been playing out relatively well, so I hope you've been able to capitalize on those short positions. Obviously on Tuesday during the live stream, I called that I was in a short position over here on EURUSD, and yeah, that one has been very fruitful so far. Was up around 70 pips yesterday, and I am looking now for the further downside continuation to take place here on EURUSD. Now going back into the daily time frame real quick, the reason why I'm looking for a further downside push here on the euro is due to the fact that we are currently not really reacting to anything which should cause an overall next impulse in towards the highs. Now when we look at, for example, again the previous impulse in towards the upside here on EURUSD, and we look at the overall retracement phase before the next impulsive phase in towards the highs started, we can see that the next impulsive phase, so the beginning of, let's say, this box over here, it all started after taking out a massive liquidity low, which was a very extremely clear overall bump in the road, right? So once we took this out, then the market was ready to continue pushing up higher. And now again, what I'm waiting for is for the major lows to get taken out before looking for the next upside push here on EURUSD, or for at least kind of like an overall descending structure to form. Once price reaches this low over here, that's when I would take some profits off, and then we'll reevaluate the overall situation. Now, the reason as well why I'm still interested in those EURUSD short positions is because of the dollar index. Now, if you've followed the market outlooks for the past few days, you know that the dollar index in itself is within this overall descending channel that we have over here. So when we look at the overall price action that we've seen an overextended leg in towards the downside, which was extremely impulsive. And then what happened is that we started to slow down. The overall swings became smaller and less impulsive. You can see here you have a very impulsive move in towards the downside, and now it becomes a lot more choppy with a lot more clear price action, where once we take out a low, straight away a retracement. Once we take out a low, again, pretty much straight away a retracement. And we even saw a little internal trend in towards the upside here, which was kind of like fake buyers getting into the markets. A lot of people thinking that the overall trend has shifted. At the time, even myself, I was looking for some long positions, but then we can clearly see that that demand zone at the time just was not ready to keep pushing price up higher. So what the market do, it swept all of the lows. So it swept this low and this low over here, where all the buyers had their stop losses positioned, because everybody who was going long from that demand zone over there had their stop loss either underneath this low or this low. They have now all been stopped out, and hence why I'm now looking for that overall upside continuation after sweeping all of those lows and seeing an aggressive V-shaped reversal in towards the upside. So looking now at the 4-hour time frame, we can see that the market broke up in toward the highs as we were pretty much waiting for, right, as of pretty much the entire week. So what has happened is that we've seen the order flow shift. The free monthly level and the monthly open level are now acting as a strong area of support. So this is a very strong area of support, and I'm now looking for this sell for the buy here to act as a demand zone to further push the dollar index in towards the highs, to eventually push up higher towards what is my overall target on the short term, 99.074, or even the overall high over here for I think this is the 1st of August. Yeah, this is the 1st of August, which is an NFP high where a lot of liquidity is above. So once either one of those highs taken out, then I would be looking for some further downside pressure again. But in the short term, still looking for the dollar index to continue pushing up higher. Now, I might be wrong, but that is definitely what I'm looking for at the moment. And let's see if that plays out, keeping my eyes open for those potential longs before then looking for what could be an overall retracement. So moving on into AUDUSD, we can see that AUDUSD in itself has been relatively slow still. We saw somewhat of a downside push, but again, Aussie dollar is not my main focus at the moment. For me, this is an extremely consolidative pair, both here and here. We've seen somewhat of, and some would maybe call this kind of like an inverse head and shoulders, but for me, this is just nothing really of interest for myself. Overall, it's more bullish than bearish, but what I would be looking for is that if you really want to trade Aussie dollar, you would need to wait for another breakout in towards the highs, and then you could trade the over order flow up higher. So once it breaks this high over here, then you can look for further upside, but otherwise it's relatively simple. Just stay out of it for now, as the dollar index is still looking more bullish than bearish. So at the moment, with the overall order flow on both the daily time frame, so the daily fractal is bullish, but also on the 4-hour time frame being bullish as well, it doesn't make sense to look for an Aussie dollar short position because Aussie dollar is not bearish, very simply said, if we look at the immediate structure. Hence why, from myself, the focus is not there. So where is my focus? Well, my focus is, for example, on a GBPUSD. So a GBPUSD sold off in towards the downside from our daily area of supply. So looking here at GU, we can see that we had the impulsive phase down, then we had the retracement phase up, and then we had the impulsive phase down again. Now, within this overall supply zone, we're then looking for follow through in towards the downside, as we're currently within the impulsive phase. So inside of that impulsive phase, I'm looking for further short positions. I'm looking now at the 4-hour time frame, and I can clearly see again that what we've done is very beautiful. We've got a clear area of supply over here. We have a bump in the road here, and we have market structure being bearish. We've retraced into premium pricing. We've taken out liquidity, and we've seen a 4-hour change of character. So I'm now looking for this to continue pushing down lower. Again, I could be wrong, and if it does head up higher, let's say from today or whatever, then I'll perfectly fine. Then we'll just look for new short positions from these higher levels and from, for example, this supply zone over here, from where I'm then again happy to look for a short position. But for now, we've seen a 4-hour fractal break, and the market should head and continue down lower for myself. Now, going into NZDUSD, we can see that NZDUSD has reacted, but not as strong as, for example, an EU or a GU, just because NU already had a massive sell-off. So let's say EU and GU have some catching up to do in that sense. Overall, for NU, I mentioned it yesterday as well, we would really need to see a break of this overall order flow block. We didn't even see a close below, so I would really only look for shorts once we really see some more momentum and some more candle closes underneath. Otherwise, for me, this is currently a no-go or a pair that I would not trade. Yes, we took out liquidity and the overall market structure is bearish, right? So you're looking for continuation, but there's really just not yet enough to say that the continuation is ready to happen. Going into USD-CHF, we can see a clear and beautiful impulse that we got yesterday. For today, I'm looking for that further upside continuation. We can see that the previous monthly open, which is this red line here, I just hope that is clear enough for you guys, but this red line here is acting as an area of resistance, or acted as an area of resistance previously. For now, I'm looking for the monthly open, the 3 monthly open, to continue as support and continue pushing the market up higher. The overall order flow is still bullish. We can still see that we have gotten a daily bullish fractal structure. So if I just clean up the chart here for you guys and remove the opens indicator because it's a little bit messy, what ultimately I'm seeing here is, okay, we have a break of structure in towards the downside, but we still have bullish order flow internally. So it doesn't make sense to look for a short position yet. So I'm still expecting further upside. Now, when we look here at USD Swiss, let's say you view this here as internal liquidity, right? And that would then mean that this, for example, could be a supply zone. So that means that maybe if USD Swiss gives us one more push up, then here we have another break. Then here, for example, we have a fractal low. This would be a valid short position after the market structure shift. But for now, there's definitely no shorts valid. Only, for example, if we would break this low again, because then this liquidity high would be enough to continue kind of like the downtrend. But that would then only be validated once we fill order flow and we break this overall low that we have here. So those shorts are the only shorts that would happen then. Otherwise, for now, it should just continue pushing up higher. Same happened on USD CAD, but the Canadian dollar has been a lot weaker. USD CAD is heading towards 1.40, waiting for that to get hit, and it should continue pushing up higher. Very nice price action yesterday again, and I'm looking for further longs on USD CAD in towards the highs. The overall analysis that we had throughout the week has played out perfectly with, again, internal liquidation, demand zone, and then from there we continue pushing up higher. Jimmy took a long position, if I'm not mistaken, on USD CAD inside the Discord server, so link in the description of this video. We continue to push up higher, and I'm looking for this, very simply said, just to continue with the overall order flow in towards 1.40. And then we have USD yen and gold. So USD yen has started to push up higher from that demand zone and from that liquidity low. I am looking for this to continue up higher. I do think that there is potential for this to head up higher. Just keep an eye on the yen basket because the yen has been relatively bullish. It's now liquidated an internal low. So for example, what's happened here is that you see kind of like a push, and then a lot of breakout traders going long again, stop loss underneath the lows. That's why you're now seeing a bullish reaction. So it's a little bit of a dangerous spot here for the yen basket, as I do see that there is potential for the yen basket now to head up higher again. So if you are looking for those dollar longs, then I would relatively prefer a GBPUSD short, for example, or a EURUSD short. Those two hold my current preference as opposed to a USD yen long. And then last of all, of course, gold. So gold sold off yesterday and did actually kind of like what I wanted, in the sense that, again, what's happening, a lot of traders here buy the overall breakout of the high, and then they see, oh, boom, massive reversal, massive liquidation back down towards the wick, which I highlighted in yesterday's video. Again, you can watch back yesterday's video. I highlighted this wick here. That wick is now being liquidated, and now we've seen a V-shaped reversal back in towards the highs. So looking for upside continuation now on gold after a lot of liquidity and a lot of stops have been taken. So this could be a potential long opportunity for the rest of today, where you look to get in on the overall order flow up higher. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. Wish you all a fantastic trading day. Main focus lies on EURUSD and GBPUSD shorts, and I'll update you guys inside Discord on that. So thanks, and see you later.